multiple taxpayers. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the Commissioner of the Indiana Department of Revenue, Bob Prentice.
I don't think applause was required. Yeah, I appreciate it. I also don't normally write formally and then read my comments, but in this forum, maybe it is an official hearing, so I'm doing that. So bear with me as I do that. Good morning and welcome to the Indiana Department of Revenue's fiscal year 2023 annual hearing. My name is Bob Prentice and I am extremely honored to be DOOR's Commissioner and a member of the amazing DOOR team, which includes 680 Hoosiers located in 13 locations around the great state of Indiana. Joining me today are several members of our team, including our executive team, and we appreciate you guys all being here. Our annual hearing is that opportunity for me to share a few comments about the Department of Revenue, but more importantly to hear from fellow Hoosiers. And we'll start with my update. Okay, so it's race weekend, and in the spirit of the Indy 500, I'm going to take you on a very fast ride through the Department of Revenue in about 10 to 12 minutes, so buckle up. It's going to be a fast ride. We do share our heartfelt thank you to everybody who's in attendance or who is watching on the live stream. We truly appreciate your time. In addition to today's hearing, there's so many ways to connect with our team, including via our In-Time e-Services portal, by phone, or by visiting one of our 13 locations around the state. And our website is a wonderful resource loaded with valuable information, self-service features, and additional details on ways to contact our different service teams. It also is where you can learn about and sign up for In-Time, our services portal. This year we introduced a more streamlined and feature-rich website that includes more information and tools. It's also easier to search and navigate. And on that site you can subscribe to several helpful newsletters and information streams. You can access lots of information, including annual reports, legal and policy resources, self-service links, forms, tax bulletins, and frequently asked questions on the hottest topics in tax administration. Okay, so let's start by taking a quick look around the Department of Revenue. It has been a very busy and incredibly successful year. Since our last public hearing in May of 2022, we have worked collaboratively with Governor Holcomb's team, our state agency colleagues, the Indiana General Assembly, and partners across tax administration to operate DOOR systems and services while we serve millions of Hoosier individuals, families, businesses, corporations, and organizations. And it's all part of the administration of Indiana's 65 tax types, licenses, fees, permits, and over $27 billion of tax revenue. I'm going to take advantage of this call. So let's do a few highlights from the last fiscal year. Those include completion of the 22 individual tax season, which was for the 2021 tax year, and then preparation, launch, and execution of the current individual tax season, which is the 2022 tax year. Completion of our 6-year modernization project, which I will cover in more detail in a few minutes. And in partnership with the Auditor of State, we issued 8.6 million automatic tax refunds for over 4.3 million Hoosiers and close to $1.4 billion. That project was extremely large, complex, and included many challenges along the way, but all of Team Indiana pulled together to make sure it was a success. And we just completed the 2023 legislative session. We supported the Governor's Office, General Assembly, and key stakeholders on a variety of significant legislative changes that impact Indiana tax laws and our administration of them. Our 2023 legislative synopsis summarizing all of these topics will be published on our website soon, and our teams are now focused on the analysis, design, and implementation work for all of those changes. Okay, individual tax season is always the big tax season that we serve our Hoosiers during this time. So let's give you a few updates on where we are on this year's tax season. So as of last night, we have processed 3.14 million individual tax returns, And in partnership with the Auditor of State, who actually issues the refunds, we have approved and issued 2.18 million individual refunds for $757 million. For electronic returns that have a refund, our service goal is to approve those refunds, 90% of them within 14 days. This year, the average return to receipt to refund approval time for those electronic returns is well under that. The average is 6 days, and 94% have been approved within 14 days. Once received, paper returns take additional time to open, sort, scan, data enter, and process. So for paper returns, our service level goal is to have all approvals 90% under 60 days. This year, our average service level for paper returns that had a refund, well under that, average is 20 days. 99% have been done under 60 days, our service level goal. 80% have been approved under 30 days, and 64 have been approved under 14 days. Now, approximately 5% of all returns require additional manual review and correction for a variety of reasons, including filing errors, incorrect or missing information, refund fraud prevention, ID verification, or discrepancy with other data sources that includes employer withholding information, financial institution, and IRS data. Each of these returns have unique attributes that require analysis and correction. So as I've shared, we've processed a very large volume of returns and refunds quickly, but every refund that's awaiting manual review and correction is for a fellow Hoosier, and we work diligently throughout the year on this important work. And now that the bulk of the filing season is behind us, we are redeploying additional analyst resources from other operations to accelerate correction of those returns. Individuals or representatives that may have questions about a specific return or refund that is still in process can set up an in-time account to correspond with our team. They can also visit our district offices or give us a call. So that's a quick snapshot of individual tax season. And here's a few additional highlights that have been going on in the last fiscal year. Over the last year, we've also processed over 4 million business returns, 300,000 corporate returns, and various other returns, schedules, extensions, amendments, and payments for special taxes, motor carrier taxes, and all the taxes our team administers. The past year, our special tax team successfully converted all their service operations to our modernized system, and they have done an outstanding job enhancing the service they provide to the unique tax requirements and customers for the 26 special taxes and permits they skillfully administer. Our sophisticated cybersecurity, data protection, ID safeguarding, and refund fraud prevention programs continue to protect your data, identities, and tax dollars. One highlight from this program and this tax year, we have stopped over $11 million of attempted refund fraud. So we're a service organization and we're all in the customer service business, but our customer service operations team are extremely proud of the significant improvements we have introduced and the quality services we have provided over the last year. Each year, those teams serve hundreds of thousands of Hoosiers, individuals, businesses, tax professionals, and organizations through a wide variety of transactions. Here's a few highlights from this calendar year for customer service. We have served over 30,000 walk-in customers, assisted 300,000 customers via telephone, processed over 75,000 pieces of correspondence, and responded to over 38,000 in-time messages. And that team has received 18,000 perfect customer satisfaction scores from post-call and after-visit surveys that represent 87% of all those surveys. And in concert with all that work, our tax practitioner and taxpayer advocate customer service teams continue to provide specialized and high-quality services to the unique needs of the customers and partners they serve. Our motor carrier services team continues to proudly maintain our commitment to providing industry-leading service to Indiana's trucking industry. Our specialized MCS operations, IT, and audit teams work in concert with the trucking industry, INDOT, BMV, and the Indiana State Police to provide a variety of complex registration, return, safety, compliance, and payment services to nearly 25% of all interstate commercial power units in the United States. This team also works with colleagues from states across the country and national motor carrier organizations to operate and improve this unique segment of tax administration. And while all this is going on, we have enhanced tax law education, guidance, and compliance via our policy, outreach, education, communication, audit, compliance, and investigation activities. We have team members in specialized units across the agency who continuously help Hoosiers effectively understand, address, and comply with their tax filing and payment responsibilities. So, as you can see, a lot is happening throughout the year here at DOOR, but there's actually more. But it's hard to cover all of it in this setting. So hang on here, I'm going to just give you an idea of some of the other things that I haven't mentioned already, the teams that are providing great service to Hoosiers. Our legal, policy, finance, IT, communications, training, project management, process improvement, data analytics, internal controls, internal audit, compliance and ethics, and title and tax clearance teams, just to name a few, have also had a very busy and successful year as they operate and improve all the critical work that they do. And throughout it all, we have continued to invest in our team members and our service operations through training, coaching, skill development, and process improvement. Okay. So I mentioned this 6-year modernization project earlier. I definitely want to touch on that. This past year marked the conclusion of a project we called Project Next Door. It started in 2017, setting aggressive goals to modernize DOOR's 20-plus-year-old technology, to close internal control gaps, improve internal efficiencies, enhance payment services and revenue processing, and improve customer service. We also set out to make impactful improvements to the environment that we perform all of our work in during this project, including leadership, teamwork, training, communication, and building our customer service spirit as we build our organizational culture. To be successful, this project required modernization of the entire agency, along with skilled project and organizational change management over the entire 6 years. It touched every system, every process, every DOOR employee, and every organization and individual that we work with. And through unwavering focus and commitment, steadfast support, teamwork, and tireless contributions from so many individuals and organizations, this project hit every deliverable and every milestone and was on schedule and on budget for 6 straight years, even throughout all of the challenges presented by the pandemic. So today, on the other side of Project Next Door, our systems, our technology platform, data, processes, organizational capability, our employee-centric and service-focused culture, our relationships with key stakeholders and partners, and the services we provide are all better by almost every measure. Project Next Door has been a tremendous success for DOOR, Indiana's taxpayers, the tax practitioner community, and every organization who is involved in Indiana's tax administration world. Modernization and continuous improvement never end, and we are already hard at work refining what we have learned and identifying additional improvements. But we concluded the formal part of this project in late 2022 with extreme pride and gratitude. And we are confident that we have established a strong foundation of success for many years to come. Okay, one final update before I close. If you have followed our journey the last few years, you have heard that our team has been recognized multiple times for our culture, organizational health, and employee engagement. We've been extremely proud to receive Indy Star Top Workplace recognition in 2019, 20, 21, and 22, and Top Workplace USA Award in 2021 and 2022. Well, this year, we have proudly added 2 more trophies to our trophy case. We received a 2023 Indy Star and a 2023 USA Top Workplace Award, which makes 8 culture and employee engagement awards in the last 5 years for our team. This year, we ranked number 4 in Indiana and number 81 across the entire country for organizations our size. We also received a Culture Excellence Award, recognizing our team for a number of organizational health attributes, including leadership, purpose and values, and innovation. These awards truly make us smile because they represent the passion we bring to our mission and vision every single day, and what it feels like to be part of Team Door, which is pretty cool. As I close, our team wants to share our sincere thanks to everyone who is part of this complex and ever-changing tax world that we live in. The magic of tax administration is created by the tapestry of professional, collaborative, and skilled work of so many organizations and dedicated professionals around the state and country, and it really does take us all. We give a huge shout out and special thank you to the Indiana CPA Society and all of their members, including their Tax Resource Advisory Council. Our partnership is something we truly value. We share the same heartfelt thanks to partner organizations like the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, the Indiana Payroll Association, and all tax practitioners across the state. And a special thanks to our Tax Advisory Council, a group of experienced and caring professionals, business stakeholders, and advocates who help our team with advice, counsel, and support throughout the year. Thank you for working with us to make tax administration work, and thank you for helping make us better along the way. Our team is extremely proud of the service we have provided and the progress we have made during this last year. We are also excited about continuing on our journey to provide excellent and continuously improving service to Indiana and all the Hoosiers that count on us. Once again, thank you for your attendance, and we look forward to your comments. Hey, Nancy.
Thank you, Bob. Our guest speaker today will be Ben Smith with the Indiana CPA Society. Ben, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nancy. And good morning, everyone. Thank you, Commissioner Grennis and the entire team that's here today for the opportunity to provide some comments on behalf of more than 7,000 members of the Indiana CPA Society. My name is Ben Smith. I'm chair of the Indiana CPA Society's Tax Resource Advisory Council, president and CEO of Estep Doctor & Company, a firm in Muncie and Anderson. I also serve on the Commissioners of Tax Advisory Council. As a Main Street owner of an Indiana business and advisor to clients who are often family-owned businesses, I recognize that our work, personal, family, and professional lives are increasingly disrupted, complex, and never quite balanced. We resign ourselves to an imperfect world and commit to living our best lives and supporting others in doing the same. My life is about building relationships and working together towards a solution. Having had the privilege over the years of working closely with Commissioner Grennis and many of the staff, I truly appreciate everything that we do and the strong relationship that we have grounded in respect and trust for our teams that work together. So first, I want to congratulate the team at DOR for the 5th year in a row as the Indy Star Top Workplace, as you mentioned. As an advocate for all CPAs practicing in tax, we experience this excellence that this award personifies firsthand. And another congratulations for reaching the goal line of the modernization project over the last 6 years. It's been, I know it's been a heavy lift. I've been heavily involved in it with Kevin and the IT team, and it's a pleasure to see it come to fruition and on budget and on time. So congratulations there as well. A prime example of our extraordinary efforts demonstrated by the legislative, legal, and policy team members who diligently worked through the complexities of the pass-through entity taxation bill that was enacted recently concluded legislative session. To say that the legislation was disruptive is a bit of an understatement. I freely admit it was the last bill I wanted to see passed in the middle of tax season, much less being retroactive to 1/1/2022. Many of our members experienced some sleepless nights figuring out how the challenge was going to be met and what lay ahead in implementing this bill during tax season, and I'm sure many of you and your team felt the same. However, being so close to the inside of the process, I believe it was the best bill we could pass and enact, providing millions of dollars of federal tax savings to our Indiana business owners and taxpayers. I'm deeply grateful to our dedicated members of the society who, with the subject matter expertise, worked closely with DOR's legal, policy, legislative team, legislators, other business professional groups such as the Chamber, and our members to get the bill over the finish line in session as early as possible. We appreciate the team's efforts in resolving the individual and systemic issues and the partnership with the society and the DOR in providing advanced communication regarding services, processes, issues resolution, as well as educational opportunities for CPAs to hear directly from Commissioner Grennis or his staff and teams, such as in the in-know updates. Greatly appreciated it. So in the spirit of our transparent partnership, we offer the following comments and some suggestions regarding these issues. Number one, refining in-time functionality. Now that we're fully implemented, we can focus on matching the in-time's end user experience to the department's best-in-class customer service taxpayers and CPAs have come to expect, including such items, improvements with the ability to preview ST103s or WH1s. We have to attest before submitting, so being able to preview those and see them before we attest to them would be very helpful. Some improved two-way communications, providing a correspondence history and retaining messages on in-time post-submission, so there's an accessible trail of communication history. Letter responses having the same functionality of messages in similar email, client look and feel. And scheduling the payments beyond the current due date to best serve taxpayers and practitioners' needs, to be able to schedule those in advance. Secondly, notices, the inconsistencies of the recount notices. This has been an ongoing discussion now, which we appreciate being a part of. We certainly recognize that the resources and the DOR team have dedicated to this issue by working through the content and information that's included in these notices to the extent the system templates allow. But that we believe there are still work to be done, and we are committed to help finding a better solution. We're continuing our dedication to partnering with DOR in seeking legislative changes if necessary to support or supporting system upgrades if that is what's necessary to reduce our taxpayers' anxiety and the practitioners' time to resolve some of these notices. One comment, the extension in estimated tax payments that we are now scheduled, ability to schedule for 23. We thank you for the initiative that we're trying to improve the functionality there. Regarding the PTE, composite tax withholding on K1s, we have a concern, but it's also an opportunity there based on previous year experience with some of the withholding for out-of-state shareholders. We feel that it's imperative we find a way to allow PDF attachment to the e-filing. We know that it's currently not an option, that being able to attach PDFs that we can at the IRS level to help smooth those out. You can attach the K1 PDF with the withholding on it, it's there for the analyst to see it, rather than having to go back later and trying to match it up. So we think that's an opportunity, and we hope we can help improve that process. And finally, practitioner services. A few areas of our Tax Resource Advisory Council members would like to provide a more focused discussion this coming year are on CFTP credits, R&D, the continuing discussion there as we continue to improve that process, EDGE credits, documentation requirements, so forth. Again, attachment to PDF on the processing will help those areas a great deal. Before closing, I want to acknowledge the work of all the DOR team members that are here in this room and those that aren't. We often hear from members who rely heavily on the relationships we have with the staff at the call centers, the district offices for resolving these issues and providing information. It's been a great experience for me over my last 34 years of practicing. The local centers, the staff there at those teams and the call centers are always very helpful and much appreciated. So I want to extend my sincere thanks to you, Bob, and the rest of your team for your considerable effort and service to our Indiana taxpayers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben. And thank you to everyone who attended and tuned in. We will be posting a full report and video of the meeting on our website in the coming days. Thank you again. This concludes our 2023 annual public hearing.
Good morning.